What a beautiful opening. Very atmospheric, very... Hello, everyone, and welcome back. Hope you're all doing well. Today, I'm going to be looking at the Halo Effect's March of the Unheard. I had a really brief glimpse of what this video looked like, and it just looked really interesting. And so I thought I'd take a look. I'm not really familiar with the Halo Effect at all, but I was just quite intrigued, I have to say. So I was like, you know what? I might just cover it for the channel. In case you're new here, my name is Melinda Reaper. I'm a filmmaker. I write and direct, and I'm here on the YouTubes to kind of talk about music videos. I love metal music specifically. Have for a very long time. I love metal music videos, and so that's kind of my main thing, what I look at. And so I really love taking a look at how music videos are made, sort of from the technical side of things, and really sort of try to add to your experience of music videos and the music, because they together work together so well as a package. And that's, what I love most about them. So that out of the way, let's go take a look at the Halo Effect's new video. What a beautiful opening. Very atmospheric, it's quite long actually. They haven't really gotten to I feel like the body of the song yet. I was waiting for it to sort of start to pause it, but I feel like we're almost there. Just wanted to go over a couple shots here because they really did a beautiful job here. It's very consistently color graded. It's very cinematic looking, which in part is because of the aspect ratio. So you have those black bars at the bottom, at the top, which gives it that more sort of cinematic vibe. Really love shots like this. I love how they cut back and forth between the marching band outside and then they're inside. They feel a little like they're dressed like nutcrackers. Not sure if that's... I know Halo Effect is Swedish and they are wearing Swedish colors. So perhaps that's what they look like. Marching bands over there. I don't know. It's a beautiful city, by the way. I love this by the river. Maybe any of you know what city this is? I would love to know. And then we have some beautiful shots here where they're all positioned in front of a really bright light. And we just get this beautiful outline from the band members playing their instruments. And it works really well. And I love the sort of blue cool tone here, which is, it's just very atmospheric. They ran a smoke machine here too, to kind of give it that, emphasize that atmosphere. Really works very well. You can see it here in the background too. I wonder where this was shot too, because it looks like a very big space, almost a little cavernous. So we have a lot of close-ups, a lot of this here is really close-up. We saw his face here is very, very close-up. And something else that I noticed is that there's a lot of really shallow depth of field. So that means that, only this bit is sharp, and then here it's already getting softer and kind of more hazy. And then in the background it's just complete unclear haze, and you get the bokeh effect. And some of these shots are really just completely hazy, which also gives it that sort of very artistic vibe to it. They're really great looking. It's a very interesting look, and cutting back and forth between these really more sort of artistic shots and like this here. It's really lovely. It's really lovely. And this is just a very strong opening look, because they sort of, this is the exact same shot that they basically opened the video on. And obviously, you know, the March of the Unheard, we're talking about these young people here, not just girls, it's guys too. Like, it feels like it's more like the Unheard being youth. So that's kind of what I'm getting here. But it's a really nice shot. I love the sort of symmetry of it. They really clearly, you see it sometimes. Actually, we talked about it recently on the Thriller video that I did. Like, I analyzed Michael Jackson's Thriller, and there too they have this V formation in the video, and it just always looks great because it really leads your eye to whoever is in the center here, and it just gives it great depth in the actual video. I personally think I would have chosen a background or would have positioned them slightly different to maybe help the visual in this background. Like, I would have, I don't know if they couldn't, maybe something was here, but I would have shot into this corner to really emphasize that V shape in the background too, to contrast with the V shape that you have in the foreground. I think that might have been a slightly more interesting shot than what we're seeing here, which is like containers, I think. But, you know, maybe they weren't able to, maybe something was sitting there. Regardless, as I said, it's like a beautiful shot. And then we have some drone footage of the city as well. And you can tell like how much it's been desaturated. It's really made to look even darker. And the sky looks so moody. It's really incredible. And I wonder what time of day this is. Sometimes the color grading can really sort of throw you off on that. But yeah, it's really beautiful so far. Really atmospheric, really building with the music too. So it really works in great concert with the music. All right, so let's start where we left off. Wow, it's a really interesting song, isn't it? It's quite different from what I expected after the build-up, which was a little bit more mellow, and then we got into the harder bit and the growls, and it's reminding me a lot of like old school Arch Enemy. Again, some beautiful views here. I really, really enjoy the cinematography here. Something that I'm really noticing that is making it stand out for me compared to other music videos is how calm and controlled the camera movement is. So maybe this was shot by someone who is more used to filming maybe short films, narrative video, etc. Because a lot of people who direct and shoot music videos for metal bands, I've noticed that they do a lot of like the shaky cam and moving forward, moving back, and sort of to kind of add to the sort of franticness of the music visually. And it doesn't always fit. So here, for example, like I feel like it works well with the vibe that the camera movement is a little slower, and because it gives it a little bit more of like a meditative vibe to it. So it's really interesting how the camera movement is just flowing, and it's very steady. So it feels like it was shot on a Steadicam. Again, I really love the lighting here. It's so dark. It's really quite daring if you think about it, because usually, you want to light your subjects as much as you can, but they really chose to underexpose them. And we only have a light here, as well as here in the background, and then we have some light coming from the drum kit here. So it's a very and here on this side as well, but it's so soft you can barely see them. It's a really interesting look. It's very artistic, I think. And then we see this green light here, which again, I think this is the light that we saw behind the drum kit before. But here it's just sitting slightly different, and from the different angles that we actually see the light. It's really a fun approach to, the performance part of the band. And then everything else is outside. And just wanted to point out these shots because I'm not entirely sure how this was shot. It's possible that, they're sitting on this roof, and then there was a roof here in the foreground here where our camera team is, and they could just move around there. And this is just like a lower bit where the band is playing. And they're moving around with their Steadicam here because, again, the movement feels very fluid and very controlled. But later on, we get this beautiful shot, and I feel like this is later in the day. Or it could be very early in the morning because it does have that sort of morning tone to it. May or may not be. But I love seeing this harbor situation here. It does feel like it was maybe shot with a drone. So that's also possible. But it's what a beautiful, beautiful shot. I love this with the background. And okay, it does look like this is what we were seeing before this here. It is all in the same location on the same roof, but they have quite a vista here. And it's so cool that the bridge is running overhead because, again, it really gives you that sense of depth here, which is really just lovely. Really, really cool. Is it me or is this roof really rolling? Anyway, yeah, just beautiful shots. Very, very, very artistic, very creative. Love that. I was trying to figure out whether or not they shot on anamorphic lenses. I don't know if they did. If they did, that would be really cool, but I'm not really seeing like the distinct glares, or can't really make out like anamorphic lenses are just a different type of lens than spherical lenses. And they give certain very specific effects, maybe it is, because here what I'm seeing is like a bokeh that's more oval rather than round. With spherical lenses, you get round bokeh. With anamorphic lenses, you get the more spherical or the more oval bokeh. But I'm not seeing enough bokeh to really figure out whether it's... So let's just watch the last part. Ooh. Okay. So I am fairly sure that it was shot with an anamorphic lens. So here we see I had to pause it real quick because here we're actually seeing that type of lens flare that I'm talking about. So with spherical lens flare, if it happened as spherical lens, you would have gotten this ray, and there are like these big bulbs of light, if that makes sense. But then when they're using an anamorphic lens, you get these horizontal flares. So this is so far the only flare that I've really seen. And usually another difference, depending on what type of anamorphic lens you're using, you'll get like blue or orange tone flare. This looks like it's a blue flare. So yes, I do think it was shot on anamorphic, which is really cool. That's really definitely a more cinematic approach to a music video. It's also a lot more expensive, by the way. Although it's getting cheaper, I feel like it's been shot by people who are used to shooting cinema. So I'm curious to find out who these people are, too. Okay, let's just, I'll restart and I'll play uninterrupted. What a great video. Really, really, really enjoyed that. So it looks like the directors that they worked with on this video, Theo Gabay and Morgan Jensen, have worked with the halo effect before. And it kind of looks like Morgan is the one who has a little bit more TV and film experience. So that's really cool to see. I was thinking so. Really just great job. I see in the credits that they indeed do credit someone who operated this Steadicam, which you could clearly tell in my opinion. And edited by one of the cinematographers. So I always love it to see it when the DP actually also edits. It's great for your workflow. So it's well done. Like, this looked great. And I saw that some of these people have collaborated with the halo effect before. So I'll have to check out some of their other films too, because this looked really good. Anyway, please let me know in the comments what you're thinking of this video and my analysis, and if there's anything I missed, or let me know where you think, if anyone knows where this was shot. Anyway, join us in the comments, subscribe if you haven't yet. I also have a Patreon that you can support or subscribe to for free, by the way, because you do get some access to what I'm working on behind the scenes, access to videos that I can't share in public yet. You can also read some of my work on there that isn't available to the public yet either. Meanwhile, you can also join us on Discord if that's more your jam. We have a really fun server where we talk about music videos, games, movies, all that good stuff. And again, it's somewhere where I keep people up to date on what's going on. So I really hope you have a great rest of your day, and I hope to see you on the next one. Peace.